Hey everybody, my name is Carrie.
My name is Brooklyn.
We're here to show you our backyard where we grow food for our family of 6. My husband Dale and I are the creators of the From Seed to Spoon mobile app, and Brooklyn helps a lot also. It helps you walk through over 100 different fruits, vegetables, herbs. It'll give you planting dates based on your nearest weather station, and it'll walk you through pests, through harvesting, through everything you need to grow, all the way from seed to spoon. We have a lot of things that we planted in the garden last fall and some things that we are still out here planting today. So let's go take a look. Right here we have a lot of spinach and lettuce, some things that we planted last fall that are just still growing. Usually over the winter they will go dormant for a little bit and then they will come back with a fury in the springtime. So now, as you can see, these are really large, and the ones that we've transplanted are the ones that we've started from seed here this spring. I'll show you here in a minute, they're over there, but these ones we've been harvesting and eating as we go through. And how we do spinach is a little bit different. We like to plant pretty densely, and then, I mean, you can see they're still pretty dense over here. We like to do that so that way we can go through and harvest them even when they're babies, and we feel like we're using all of the space we have available and not wasting anything, and always have food pretty much. So we also have some cabbage and broccoli and onions, things like that that are kind of scattered throughout here. Those we've done as transplants. And our the onions, what we like to do is plant like a thin layer on the outside, so that way it kind of helps to protect this bed from pests. So pests find what they're looking for through their sense of smell. So whenever they come to this bed, our hope is that with the onions on the outside, they will be deterred from going and feasting on our like collard greens and our broccoli and cabbage and all that. So this area over here, we kind of have a mixture of wooden raised beds and smart pots. Whenever we first started gardening, we built these wooden raised beds, and that was only about, 4 or 5 years ago, and a lot of them are falling apart like this, and we've had some that have completely fallen apart. So as you can see, it's not going to last much longer. But so as those have broken, we've been introducing these smart pots. These things are great. They're supposed to last for up to like 10 years, maybe more. But we've had some about as long as we've had these. They're still doing fantastic. We love them. They're super handy. So this right here, we have a bunch of smart pots. We have the big ones, which are the big bag raised beds, all the way down to like 3-gallon, one of these little smart pots. So as you can see, we have actually been transplanting some of our plants out of these. We have some holes over here of things we were digging up earlier today, because we are in the process of moving. So we're trying to get some things out of these bigger raised beds that we have and putting them into these smaller ones, like these ones over here, which are just a little bit easier to transport. And we even have some of these that have handles on them. They're great. So we can just lift them and carry them like that to our new house. But we're working to transplant a lot of our plants from these big bag raised beds, because these are 100-gallon beds. So if we took them like this, it'd be super heavy. So we're trying to do the least amount of work that we can while we move. So over here we have a huge kale plant that planted, I think this actually planted itself last season. So this was last fall, and this is just thriving over here. And this is actually our strawberry patch that we have over here. It's underneath our trellis arch. So I feel like having this trellis arch over top of it in the summertime really helps to give it just a little bit of shade that it needs to do well. And then we have strawberries over here. As you can see, we've been thinning them out and taking some with us, planting those into smaller smart pots. But we love having these strawberries in these big bag beds, because whenever they produce runners, they create new plants, and then pretty soon you'll have an entire bed full of strawberries. And then over here on the side of this trellis arch, we have some peas planted, so that way these peas can grow up and vine up this, and it'll become an archway. I love it. It's beautiful. So we do peas in the springtime, and then we'll shift more to beans whenever we go to summer, and then in the heat of the summer we'll do southern peas across here. And there's actually even strawberries that have ran outside of the smart pots, and they're just growing straight in the ground right there now. And they're doing great. This one over here actually has a flower on it, so that should give us some fruit here soon. Yeah, over here we have the potato area. So we do potatoes in these fabric raised pots, the smart pots. They are a lot easier to harvest than having them in containers or in the wooden areas, because they have these bendable sides and you can actually dig down and pull them out whenever you're harvesting. And we like to do Easter egg hunts with them, don't we? We'd turn them over, dump them out into wheelbarrows, and then the kids all search through and find the potatoes. So we actually planted this before we bought the new house that we're going to. So we had all these potatoes, growing up and growing. So we have been digging them out from the bottom and transplanting them. Over here, we actually have some in these bigger pots that we have been transplanting them into, so that way we can carry these and take these with us. And yeah, so that's an experiment for us, growing them in the smaller containers. So I think they'll still do pretty good. So we like to do a method called square foot gardening in our gardens. So we do it just a little bit differently. We usually like to do it in rows. So we'll still measure out with a square foot how many plants should be in that. But we like to plant super dense, and then, like I was talking about earlier, and then just go in and eat the trimmings as little like microgreens. So we'll come through here. As you can see, these are super dense, but we'll come through here with some scissors, we'll cut them off, and we'll eat these in a salad or something like that. We'll add them to a wrap. They're great in all sorts of ways. So we have a lot of different things growing over here. We have some broccoli, some cauliflower. I'm excited for the cauliflower. Yes, we have mustard greens, which I know some people in our family are really excited about mustard greens, but I personally do not like the taste of mustard. And Dale has tricked me before into eating mustard greens, and it really does taste just like mustard. So a lot of people love putting these mustard greens onto like hamburgers or things like that. If you like mustard, it's fantastic. So over here, we just turned on the irrigation system that we made. So this is just PVC pipe that we have hooked up to a hose over here. And we drilled holes. So we drilled holes all the way through this PVC pipe, and the water just squirts out and it goes through and it waters all of our plants for us. So this is super great, especially in the summer whenever it gets really hot. It's actually pretty hot out today too, and it's just springtime. So whenever it gets to be summer and it's the heat of the summer, we love to use these so we don't have to be outside quite as much, standing around watering. So it helps save us some time and energy and all that. So in this bed, we have a mixture of things. We have these peas along the sides where we have the trellises. And so that way these peas, they go and trellis up these trellises that we've built. We got all of these are built from cattle panels and T-posts just staked into the ground. It was super easy, super cheap to build. We got the cattle panel at Tractor Supply just down the street from us. It was great. It was under $20. So we just put that up here, and then on that side, we like to put it over here on the west side of the bed, so that way we can get some shade for these plants whenever the heat of the sun is going down in the summer. By the time the plants start growing up, it gets really hot, so it gives these plants a little bit of break in the afternoon. Actually, sorry, so this one right here is the cattle panel. This one was a concrete remesh that we got just from Lowe's or Home Depot in the concrete lane section. So that's what this one over here is. They both work. Okay, so the rest of the garden, we do have a lot of cilantro over here growing wild. So Dale loves to just come out here, throw seeds everywhere, and see what grows where. So we have a bunch of cilantro over here. Cilantro doesn't usually grow that well here in Oklahoma because there's just a small growing season for it. So we like to grow a lot of it so that way we can have a whole bunch during the small time that we can have it. So over here we have on the east side of our shed, we have this garden bed right here that gets some shade in the afternoon. So we have these spinaches that we planted last fall, so they're huge now. So these ones get some shade in the afternoon, so that way hopefully whenever summer comes they should last a little bit longer because they get some more shade, so they won't bolt or go to seed quite as quickly in the summer. Okay, so over here we have a huge bed of things that our bunny loves and the compost love. So over here, beautiful comfrey plants. I love them. They are super unique because their roots grow down super far into the ground, and they grab all the nutrients from down below and put them up into the leaves. So their leaves are super great for compost. Our bunny loves them, which she's right over here. This is Miss Cara. She loves to eat them, and she gives us a lot of poop in return, and we use that into our compost bin. And our compost bin is right over here, and we have a lot of different things in here. We have wood chips, we have worm casting on the other side, but food scraps, dead plants, you name it, we just throw it all in there, turn it. So over here we keep our mint. So we make sure that we keep our mint in containers because mint will grow like a weed and will grow everywhere. Mint is fantastic for many different things. First of all, it's great in drinks. We can pick it on a hot summer day, add it to some ice water. It's a great taste. And also, Miss Cara over there loves mint. It is a huge treat for her. Brooklyn, you want to give her some treat? She'll be so happy. Cara's spoiled if you haven't noticed. Okay, go give it to her. She'll be so happy. Oh, she knows. Happy bunny. So over here we have a big section of a bunch of different herbs that we like to grow and eat. So whenever we first started gardening, we started to get bored with a lot of the foods that we were growing and making, and just everything tasted the same. So whenever we discovered that we can add herbs to things and make it taste completely different, we were hooked. It was great. So we have a wide variety of different herbs and even different varieties within the same one. So we grow like different types of basil, different types of oreganos. So we grow a bunch of different types of things, and we have two different types of chives over here. We have some onion chives, which are the rounded leaves over there. Brooklyn pointed out, yeah, it's super tasty. Over here we have garlic chives, which are the flat leaves right there. And then we have some rosemary right here. We have some thyme and oregano and parsley, cilantro, you name it. Oh, and so this one is super unique. This is actually salad burnet. It tastes just like cucumbers. So it's super great. I love it because I love cucumbers. So if you add this into a salad, super tasty. You okay? So whenever we first started doing tours of our garden and showing our garden to people, they thought, that's awesome, but it's a little big. It's not something that we quite have space for in our garden. So what we did, we came over to this side of our garden, and we wanted to show just like a smaller scale, something that pretty much anybody could do. So we have two different areas set up. We have one area set up right here on our porch. So these smart pots are fantastic. They can sit directly on the concrete or directly on grass, and nothing will grow into them. So they are fantastic. They work great. So we grow a lot of different things right here because this is right off of our kitchen, is right through that door over there. So we have a lot of things that we use a lot of in the kitchen to cook with right here. So it's easy. We just step right out, snip a few things with some scissors, take it inside. So that's what this area right here is. And then over here, this is my personal favorite area. So this, we have another cattle paddle trellis. So it's great because it's beautiful. I love the archway. And we have these big long beds that we use underneath, and we put them against the trellises over here, and that way we have things that can grow. So right now we're growing peas. We also have 2 kiwi plants, a male and a female. So that's what this is growing right up here. It's growing up. I'm very excited about that. Last season we grew like some watermelon and cantaloupe up the side too. I mean, pretty much anything that trellises, you can put it across right here. And then we have a sprinkler system going through right here to where it can drip irrigate and water all of these smart pots for us throughout here. So, favorite part. In the summer, I'm going to be planting some flowers into here and just doing some things up here to add some color and add some attractors for beneficials. And so whenever these are filled out, it's even more beautiful. So I love that section. So whenever I said we were transplanting a lot of things over and getting ready to move, this is where all of those pots are going. So we have a lot of like potatoes, as you can see, growing in these. Most of these are 5-gallon size smart pots that we have over here. And we're putting like a potato or 2 in each. So we have a bunch of different transplants over here. Just makes it a little bit easier to take with us to our next house. And yeah. Thanks so much for watching today. Brooklyn and I had fun touring you guys through the garden. And if you haven't already, check out our app. Download it for free in Android and the iOS app stores. It is great because it'll walk you through 100 different fruits, vegetables, herbs. It gives you planting dates based on your nearest weather station, so it'll calculate out exact planting dates. It'll talk about what pests attack that plant and how to manage those pests. It'll talk about companion planting, and as well as good companions, it'll talk about bad companions too. So what to plant next to it and what not to plant next to it too. So it's great. It has links to all of our videos in there too, and all of our blog posts. We do a lot of different blog posts talking about what we're doing in our backyard and things that we've learned along the way. So check it out if you haven't already, and share with a friend. So this is a part-time thing for me and Dale. Both of us have day jobs that we do during the day. So we work on this a lot at night. And we also have 4 kids too. So we're working a lot. So please help support us any way you can, even if it's simply by sharing this video or sharing our app with people. We also have a store where we sell just the tried and true products that we use and we really enjoy in our garden. Just like the smart pots that you've seen a lot of today. We have seating squares, things like that. And also throughout the app, things that not in our store, we have links to Amazon products that we've used and that we found helpful. So if you click those, we do get a small percentage of those too. So please help us out. And just one more time, check out our app if you haven't already. It is available for free in iOS and Android. If you type in From Seed to Spoon or gardening, you will find us.